folks. How is everybody? I'm here. It is Saturday. I managed to make it sort of on time. Sort of. I was really good all week and I got up early and I went to the gym. And today I didn't have to get up early and go to the gym, and I slept and I got more sleep than usual. And for some reason that made me really tired. So I'm here, but I have done very little to prepare for the fact that I'm streaming on Saturday again. A couple hours earlier than I did before, because part of the problem last time was that it was just too late in the afternoon for me to like want to stream. I don't know. 3:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday was just not a time where I was like, yes, let's go do. But hi, everybody. Welcome. I think I saw a couple of people. Elixir, hello. Welcome. Enjoy your multitasking. Caden, it is good to see you. Have fun lurking for foods at the dining hall. Lord Portico, welcome, welcome. How is your morning? Is it foggy? I assume it's foggy because of your location. I assume it's always foggy. Draws cake. So indeed, yes, there was a solar revolution completion that happened this week. So this is as close as I'm doing to a birthday stream this year. The future side of Starfleet Command is currently foggy and 58 Fahrenheit. We came through the storm okay. Helene visited. And it was windy and it was wet. And I don't know. There were lots of flood warnings, but I don't know how much flooding actually happened. The public schools closed yesterday. The mall closed yesterday. And it rained on every floor of the library yesterday. Thankfully, I wasn't at work and I didn't have to go in because other people were. Elixir, I'm sorry. Not just on. Yeah, it rained in every floor of the library yesterday because one side of the library is all windows. And even though they were closed, the wind was driving the rain so hard that it got in anyway, apparently. What can I say? It always rains on my birthday. This is a constant. It always rains where I am on my birthday. You just finished washing all the towels? Oh my God. I popped in after you mentioned it in text. I went into my emails and looked to see what had been said, and the only one I saw was the one from Bob. And it looked like his email was not great, but I didn't see emails from anybody else, so I don't know. Yeesh. That is, I am very thankful for that, Elixir, that you did not email people that were not in. Now, I started my birthday yesterday by getting up at 5:15 and going to the gym and working out. And then 10 minutes in the sauna. And then I drove back with my free Starbucks drink from having a birthday. And I took a shower. And then I just sat down to relax and watched some television. I was watching I think it was a BBC program. It was on Amazon Prime. It's called The Deep. It was like a really short series, like 6 episodes or something. I haven't seen the whole thing yet, but so far I was enjoying it. And then I modded for Eric. And then tried to figure out what I wanted to do last night. We had pizza and ice cream cake. Because I wanted pizza and ice cream cake. And we ended up watching the first 2 Sharknado movies. Because ridiculously over the top, somewhat funny disaster flick felt good. And I was like, they made 6 of them. They can't be terrible. They can't be any worse than the Tremors series. Or than Snakes on a Plane, which was surprisingly better than I expected. So yeah, we watched the first 2 Sharknado movies, and they were not terrible. They were exactly what I expected, and so it was fun. And as far as I'm aware, no one left my cake out in the rain. Anyway, so my hope today for gaming is that I'm going to get to like, I'm going to try and restart Martian Dreams. Because supposedly if I do a playthrough, if I start over, the bug that stopped me from finishing it might not be there. I was very disheartened and did not want to play the game months ago. That's why I ended up just stopping the weekends, because I was like, no, I can't. I just can't do it, man. I can't do it. But there's been some time. I'm ready to try again. I really do want to finish it. I was really enjoying the game, and I was very disappointed in the bug. I know there's another bug that is pretty common that we didn't experience, but that one shows up much earlier. This is like so late in the game, and it's like, until you get there, you don't know if the bug is there. Because apparently it might not be. This is not surprising. Games like this, that was a thing. Depending on, like, you load it up, it might have the bug, it might not. And if you encounter the bug, just start over. Yet I was very disappointed. But this time it should not take nearly as long, because I have all of the notes from before that will hopefully make it so that I don't have to wander around aimlessly. So I've never done a speed run. That's not a thing I really do. Especially because most of these games I've never played before, but I'm gonna sort of try and speed run the game as best I can. Matt M33, thank you for your streak. 5 streams without clothes. Welcome. And congrats, Caden, on being randomly selected as a VIP for the stream. Enjoy your digital gemstone. I don't know. Diamonds are a girl's best friend, right? Sorry, I'm poking at, because I literally have not set things up yet. Yes, I know. Bad me. So I'm getting the assets ready. But what does everybody else have going on this weekend? It's the end of September. That's a thing. I want you to just not Can I just have you not do any spelling and grammar checks? Thank you. I know I'm going to misspell things. You do not need to point that out to me. Yeah, me just like prepping all of my notes, all of the things from when we were doing this months ago. I have not yet decided whether I'm just gonna do like stick to the every Saturday Martian Dreams thing, or if I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I would be curious if people have preferences. Oh gosh, I haven't done that either. I'll have to do that after stream. I forgot we leveled. I honestly forgot what's going on. I remembered we had a game, but it's been so long, I don't remember anything that's happening. Okay. I have nearly everything open. Wait, that's not the thing. But why is it... Nothing is behaving the way I expected to. There are peculiarities to setting up to play one of these older games and to have like the manual on screen and things like that. Like my PDF reader is, and my document editor, my PDF reader and my Microsoft Word are set to very specific size on my screen. And that's because if I change the size, it alters how they look on the stream output. And so I can never touch them, ever. Doesn't matter what I'm using them for, this is the size they are. Unless I want to have to reset them to like mess with them again as part of stream setup. Oh boy. Well, I had sort of planned that during this break from weekends, I would like revamp graphics and stuff on my stream. You will have noted that that did not happen. They were lofty plans. I do want to do it. But when I will have the motivation, time, and energy to do so is a question. It was probably not something that I could really expect myself to get done while work was super, super busy. I was working a lot and I was doing instruction. And I had to prep for all of the instruction sessions. And see, now that's over. And so I have a little bit more time at work to actually get things done, which means slightly less stress. Only slightly. Like not... Anyway. There is a thing. I should... Can I... How best to do? There's a thing that I grabbed yesterday that I'm excited about, and I thought maybe... And this was after Rogan's special guest appearance in Spaceballs 2, The Search for Tenure. Right. What oh gosh. So that happened, right? That whole thing. And so thankfully, I don't know how or whether this was planned, but I'm very grateful that because of the timing of things, I was not eligible to be appointed to the library committee that does the tenure stuff, because it is a committee that you don't get a choice. Most of the committees you volunteer for. This is a committee which you do not volunteer for. There's an election, and if your name is selected, you are on the committee. And so thankfully, I was not yet eligible when the names were selected for this year. It's part of service being on the track. Yes, I know, but I was very glad to not be in the running to be on the committee this year. There's also the university level one, and if you get selected for that, you're also automatically on that one and don't get to say no. But next year, my name will be in there. It doesn't mean that I will be appointed to it, but my name will be there, and it's a possibility. And yeah, but also in the past, what is it, like month and a half? So many things have come up already with people like saying, oh, here's this great thing. You should really consider blah, 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 because this will look great when you go up for promotion again. Which I hear, I understand, I'm tired. Like, yes, going up for promotion again, this is the only way to get a raise that's more than the minuscule percentage that they give every year. And I'm just even contemplating it is tiring. And one of the things is I'm now attached to a 5-year project being driven by the history department that involves sometime around spring of year 3, possibly year 4, me taking a 6-month research leave to write a book. And my brain contemplates that and comes to a full stop. Like to thank you for your impressive reinforcement of the idea. I would never want to be a full-time faculty member. I'm like, I am not a historian, but sadly I am the leading authority on the topic that they wish to have a book on. I am going on a 5-year mission, which will have a sudden break in year 3, yes. How did I become the leading authority on anything? Will the last 2 years be an animated book? Not that I'm aware of. I just, wait a minute. How did I become the leading authority on anything? Because sadly I am the leading authority on LGBTQ+ history at Virginia Tech. But I never asked to be the leading authority. Welcome back, Kaden. Congrats on acquiring food. I wanted, before we dive into... Wait, this is how it happens? No! This is not fair. Before we dive in, I have a thing I want to... also, I have apparently things that I need to, make happen that have yet to... Wait, no, that looks broken. Why is that? No! What the... Things broke. Oh, fudgery. Where are the buttons? Okay, that's fine. But that's broken. Why is that broken? This is unacceptable. You know the thing that I said that I don't do because I can't do it because it causes problems? Apparently I did it. I swear I did not. This is very frustrating. Well, I'll have to fix that later. Wait, what redeem? Oh gosh. Why? I do need to remove this from
Well, that's all right then.
I need to set this up differently. It's very annoying that it fails so often. Like I just went in and manually did it, but yeah, you can definitely refund those points for Caden. It is. Well, since it's broken anyway. What happened? Oh, fudge. I was in studio mode and forgot how studio mode worked. What do you mean it's gone from the queue? Why are you breaking things, Twitch? It's not in there. It's what? Twitch, why are you breaking things? I am so confused. It doesn't even show as like an option in the queue, but it's an option for redemption. That's why I was just, I'm so baffling. I'm going to count that as a death. I wish I could just give you channel points like that, but it doesn't let me do things like that. It really should let me do things like that.
Well, that's all right then.
When they're in the queue, but it disappeared when, oh, it was there, but it disappeared when you open your queue. But it doesn't even show up as like an option on the left, which is frustrating. But that's because it's supposed to just automatically happen. It's not supposed to sit in a queue. Well, I will definitely make it a priority to mess with that. And also, I accidentally stopped the music. It's fine. It's been forever since we did a Saturday, and I have I wanted to look at this thing before we actually start, but I also can't manipulate the size. Give me 1 second on that. Why did I set things up this way? This is silly. Why did I do this? I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. Fine, whatever. I don't care. Now now I might actually have that motivation I was talking about to make significant changes to what the stream looks like, because this is frustrating. It's happened to you a couple of times? No, I'm guessing it's the it's probably simply just that redemption. I'm gonna turn it off since it's broken. I'm angry at it now. I am going to discover another way to make that work, because the present method, not functional. And that's annoying me. All right, it should no longer be available as something, so nobody will lose points on it. So this thing, I am so excited. This is a this is currently free on the this is Monty Cook, right? Or wait, where's which Modifius? Sorry, this is currently free on the Modifius games site. This is a like preview playtest thingy. Hi. I am not completely distracted and unable to function at the moment. I'm sorely tempted by the Space 1999 TTRPG. It's the Quickstart PDF for the Discworld role-playing game, and it is presently available at no charge at Modifius. Hashtag not sponsored. And I thought that it might be nice to take a peek at it real quick, because I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, and it's freaking Discworld! Adventures in Ankh-Morpork! Can I play a librarian? You have no idea. I'm so excited by this. Oh gosh. It starts with, what is Discworld? Does anybody here not know what Discworld is? That's something I need to play. I wonder... I wonder if it's something that I can find and make happen. I don't know that I have a copy of the old Discworld games. But if I can find one that will run on my machine... There were some wonderful Discworld games from the era of like King's Quest. That would be amazing. The Winter Discworld Steely Eye Span album. I was not aware of this album. Wintersmith. I know Steely Eye Span. I didn't know this album. Well, I'm bookmarking that for later. It's Discworld, and there's Atuin. Tuin. I'm sorry. We haven't even gotten to anything. So what is Discworld? We'll go through this for anybody that does not know. What is Discworld? In a distant secondhand set of dimensions, in an astral plane that was never meant to fly, the curling star mists waver and part. See, Great Atuin, the turtle, comes. Swimming slowly through the interstellar gulf, hydrogen frost on his ponderous limbs, his huge and ancient shell pocked with meteor craters. Through sea-sized eyes that are crusted with rheum and asteroid dust, he stares fixedly at the destination. In a brain bigger than a city with geological slowness, he thinks only of the weight. Most of the weight, of course, is accounted for by Beryllia, Tabul, Great Stefan, and Jerakeen, the 4 giant elephants upon whose broad and star-tanned shoulders the disk of the world rests. Garlanded by the long waterfall at its vast circumference and domed by the baby blue vault of heaven. That is an excerpt from The Color of Magic, which is the first book in the Discworld series. Discworld is the setting for novels penned, or at least typed, by Sir Terry Pratchett. These novels are present on nearly every fantasy reader's shelf. This is not an exaggeration, I don't think. And many a charity shop one as well. Oh, thank you for the self-care. I shall. It was a break, but also a test. Well, so that the all right one, it's supposed to just automatically trigger it to play the graphic. So I think that's why it doesn't stay in the queue. Because there's nothing for us to do. It's just supposed to be an automatic thing. So I'm guessing that's why. But then when it's broken, it causes problems. It is a world built on stories with fuzzy geography and unreliable chronology. It is a place where characters try to live their day-to-day lives, but are forever interrupted by the needs of a narrative. A place where dwarves look askance at trolls, vampires look askance at werewolves, and the citizens of Ankh-Morpork mostly just want to get through one single day without being looked askance at. Discworld is a setting where the gods play games with the lives of men on a board which is at one and the same time a simple playing area and the whole world. To quote Interesting Times, while you may not be gods, Adventures in Ankh-Morpork certainly allows you to play games with the lives of humans, dwarves, trolls, gargoyles, Igors, zombies, and a whole plethora of other weird and wonderful creatures that call the disc home. Well, maybe not the whole disc, but certainly that stinking part of it that slumps on the Stowe Plains south, are known as Ankh-Morpork. I don't know why the word south came out of my... Anyway, Discworld is a setting that has a special place in many hearts and imaginations all over Roundworld. It is our unbelievable privilege to bring that world to life on tabletops, both physical and virtual, for fans old and new. We hope we've done it justice. I am excited! Oh my god, I'm so excited, I'm so excited. It's a Discworld RPG! So, I'm not going to spend a ton of time with it because this isn't something I typically do, but I wanted to get a look at the character creation stuff. I want to see who you can play. Oh, there's a note about tone. Oh, and a note about when it's happening. Okay. Ankh-Morpork, brawling city of 100,000 souls. And as the patrician privately observed, 10 times that number of actual people. Guards is actually one of the ones, like I was reading through the entire series, but I was reading it as audiobooks. And I think guards, I don't remember. There's one, I hit a spot where I couldn't proceed in audio because it just wasn't available. I don't remember if it was Guards or not that I ended up having to get an ebook to read because the audio wasn't available, but that was probably just at the time. Let's see. I want to see. Okay. When is now? Ankh-Morpork has a long and sordid history in which there have been infinite nows, but we're not concerned with those old nows. We care about this present now. Now is the turn of the century of the anchovy. The century of the fruit bat saw many societal and technological leaps forward, or at least sideways, for the people of Ankh-Morpork. They were landed on by dragons and saw multiple assassination attempts of important figures, not least of which were the patrician and Sir Samuel Vimes. This year, we look forward to the looming anniversary of Coombe Valley, the only battle in history where both sides ambushed the other. One of the many reasons for the ancient grudge between dwarfs and trolls. For those familiar with the Discworld novels, this particular now sits somewhere around the events of Going Postal and Thud. Coombe Valley looms ahead like an iceberg. The Grand Trunk Semaphore Company grinds the clacks into the ground in the name of profit. And a certain con man named by doting if unwise parents plies his trade with no thought of angels. This is the now of Adventures of Ankh-Morpork. Steven Joyce! Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for the resubscription, 39 months! Before I dive into my game, I wanted to look at this because TTRPG Discworld. This is currently free on the Modifius website. It is the Quickstart guide for the Discworld TTRPG. So for you, it's going to be at modifius.net, which is their UK store. And if you just search for Discworld, the Quickstart guide is free. Our aim with this game is to bring that core indefinable Discworldliness to your tabletop. The focus here isn't on delving into dungeons or fighting dragons. There's a double star on that one. We'll look at the footnote. Swamp dragons are rather too small to offer much of a fight for a start. Combine this with their inclination to explode if startled, and you've got a recipe for some very disappointed and slightly singed adventurers milling about sheepishly, picking bits of dragon out of their hair. Nor will you be moving 30 feet and dealing 12 damage to a monster. There are no rules for combat. I'm curious now. There are no rules for combat. While violence and conflict are commonplace in Ankh-Morpork, combat is never the point of the story. The focus is on the characters, the world, and the words. People are defined by traits, not numbers. The world and the players vie to control the story, as Narrativium sluices finely through everything, gently pushing things toward a satisfying conclusion. Okay, so this is a game of collective storytelling where the players are fighting against the narrative of the world. I like this concept. This is interesting. Finally, we encourage players to bend the English language far beyond what is usually considered reasonable. Terry Pratchett used words in ways that were unexpected, in combinations and meanings that were playful, joyful, and often unreasonable. We heartily encourage you to do the same. The more awful the puns, the better. I love it. Some stuff about safety tools. Introduction to what is a role-playing game, because some people are playing them for the first time. Oh, I love this. Bear in mind that Discworld is a satirical setting, not a comedy one. Outside of the Fool's Guild, there are very few characters that are intentionally trying to be funny. And inside the Fool's Guild, there are very few characters that succeed at being funny. The funniest moments in Discworld novels come from excellent wordplay and characters taking the events around them seriously, no matter how ridiculous things are on the face of it. That is very true. It's Death and his white horse. I'm so excited. All right, the system. I love all the quotes. Iron contains not just iron, but also the story of iron, the history of iron, the part of iron that ensures it will continue to be iron and has an iron-like job to do and is not, for example, cheese. Without narrativium, the cosmos has no story, no purpose, no destination. From the Science of Discworld. 3. Discworld is a unique setting, and it deserves a bespoke system to do it justice. A system that encourages those randomly silly moments that RPGs and the Discworld novels both embrace so well. A system that allows for flexibility and actively encourages puns. Awful and amazing alike. In short, a system that makes you feel like you are in Discworld. That is what we have created. Hopefully, at least. We'd hate to have to put Andy back in the Scorpion Pit, although it does seem to focus his mind beautifully. Our system is built on 2 core premises. 1, the disc has a story it wants to tell, and left alone will spin on much as it has always done. And 2, the players want to change this story to one more to their liking. Discworld itself operates like a story, and top-notch research wizards have found that it is helped along by an element found in abundance on Discworld, narrativium. It is this narrativium that the players are going to have to contend with if they want to forge their own story in a world frankly bursting at the seams with stories. Players will use their character and their dice to see if they have what it takes to beat the narrativium into the shape they want. They need to be careful, however. Sometimes it beats back. It's the librarian! I quite like the librarian. I have to look and see if I can get the old the point and click era Discworld games to run on my machine, because if so, I'm going to need to play them, because they were very good. All right, you need pen and paper. Dice. Ooh. Why is the 8? Let's see. A full set of polyhedral dice, a D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, D20, and D100 for failing, attempting tests. I love it. The D8 seems like it's special for some reason, but I don't see anything saying why. All right, I should maybe read the thing and maybe I'll find out. D4 means 4-sided, D20 means 20-sided. We're fairly sure that you can figure out the rest from there, although the D100 has to be contrary and break this mold. In fact, it's 2 D10s rolled together, one to give you the 10s and the other to get the 1s. You can actually, in reality, get a D100. The thing is, the sides are so small that it's essentially round and rolls for a really long time. But I used to have one. Because Octarine! Exactly. The D20 and D100 will only be needed for rolling on tables, however, not used in general play. As a result, you won't need them in this book. Dice inject an element of randomness. Yep. RPGs require a certain amount of imagination from both players and GMs. Puns. Punes? Or plays on words? The plural of puns does not have an E. Sorry, anyway. No session in Adventures of Ain't Morpork, or Discworld book for that matter, would be complete without at least a few punes. Or plays on words. Be prepared to twist wrangle and torment the English language to serve your needs or just to make people chuckle. I have a feeling like they intentionally misspelled puns. To torment the English language. Friends, we can't help you with this one. Unless we're counted among your friends. In which case, hi, how are you? It's been too long, I know. We should organize a catch-up at some point. Next week? No, we're busy next week. But could you do the 25th? No? Well, we'll message about it and sort something out. Promise. I love it. It's intended to be played as a short-form storytelling game or as a palate cleanser between long-form campaign play. The adventure in these pages should only take one session. Hi, Baba! One session of around 3 to 4 hours to complete, allowing you to get the feel of the game with barely any commitment whatsoever. Okay, so that's the quick start, is what they're talking about there. It's the librarian! I love it. I couldn't not look at this. Playing the game. I'm gonna skip some stuff. We're not reading the entire book. Okay, so here's how to resolve tests. They did a great job with the art. Yeah. It's spectacular. I am very happy. I mean, it's Modifius, so I didn't expect that it would be bad, but whenever players try to do something in a scene that has half a chance of, whenever players try to do something in a scene that has a chance of failure, they will need to make a test. No matter whether you are snooping around, intense political negotiations, or trying to outdrink a dwarf, all tests are resolved the same way. Declare an action, justify the action using traits, GM determines the outcome die, roll the outcome die against the narrativium die, get help, optional, resolve the test, not optional. So the player says what they want to do. I wonder if this is going to feel a bit more like the Doctor Who game, where it was more about the story than it was about, like, people who wanted to talk got to go first in conflict situations. Justify using traits. Determines the outcome die that will be used. Either a D4, D6, D10, or D12. If the justification is absolutely flawless, or if this is very much within the PC's wheelhouse, it's a D12. If they clearly have no idea what they're doing and their attempt at justification is flimsy, it's a D4. The 6 and 10 are somewhere in the middle. Okay, so that is interesting. That feels a little bit similar to some of the mechanics in the Cypher system. Roll the outcome die against the narrativium die. They roll the one that the GM decided was appropriate. The narrativium die is the D8. So you're always rolling against a D8 to resolve tests. If the outcome die has rolled higher, the PC is successful. If the narrativium die rolls higher, then they fail. And are subject and may now be subject to unforeseen consequences or twists represented as new traits. If it's a tie, the PC achieves what they want to do, but they also suffer consequences as a new trait, twist, or both. Amazing! If the test is a failure, then one PC in the scene can spend 1 luck to try and help. This is risky, however, since this will also make the consequence for failing 1 degree worse, and open themselves up to the consequences of the test alongside the original test taker. If they still want to help, we're about to have an ad break start. No! Okay. I like the basic mechanics. They're very interesting. But we're going to have 3 minutes to take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to keep looking at this for a little bit more because we still have some more that I want to know before we actually play the game that I had planned to play today. But I'll see you all very soon. Okay, welcome back. I just decided to have fun with graphics during the break. So Portico, I see that you were able to see, which of course you were because you have a subscription. But other people who did not have a subscription would have been getting the ads. Hi, Iron Trout. How are you? I decided that I had to look at Discworld, the RPG. So group tests, 1,000,000 to 1. I love this. Sometimes your players will surprise the GM with an absolutely absurd, ridiculous, or genius plan that is so outlandishly unlikely it makes you stop and go, it's 1,000,000 to 1 chance, but it just might work. In these situations, the GM can rule that the PCs automatically succeed on their plan. These auto successes should be very few and far between. Remember that any attempt to force 1,000,000 to 1 chance is doomed to failure. Okay, this is what I wanted to come in and look at most particularly is characters and traits. Characters in Adventures in Ankh-Morpork are a collection of traits held together in the approximate shape of a person. In this way, they are not so different from their players. These traits are recorded on your character sheet on how players use their PCs to interact with the world around them. In the full game, you'll spend time lovingly crafting elaborate backstories and slightly amusing names for your character. However, for this quick start, we've provided pre-filled in character sheets to get you going with a minimum of fuzz. I mean, that's pretty typical. So it looks like the first one that they're going to look at here to illustrate the character sheet is Constable Cliff, who works for the Watch, a troll raised by loving human parents, public relations and the face of the group, people aren't things, a winning smile and chiseled features, simple but not stupid. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, so here's a quick run through of the character sheet and what all of these things mean. 1, your character's name and pronouns. We've got Constable Cliff, and he uses he, him pronouns. 2, the group they belong to. The Watch. 3, their species and background. So a troll raised by human parents. Loving human parents. That's important. 4 is niche traits, their experiences and where they fit in their group. For that, public relations and the face of the group. 5 is their core. So their outlook and how they react to the world. So Constable Cliff here, his core is people aren't things. 6 is quirk traits, the odd little idiosyncrasies and eccentricities that make their character who they are. And for Constable Cliff, it is a winning smile and chiseled features. And he's simple but not stupid. 5 is a brief character 7 is a brief character description. As a troll, Constable Cliff has heard all the jokes. People think trolls are stupid, violent, and cruel. The fact that it is usually stupid, violent, and cruel, people, oh gosh, sorry, I really stumbled over that sentence. People think trolls are stupid, violent, and cruel. The fact that it is usually stupid, violent, and cruel people that think this is little consolation. Cliff doesn't mind, though. He approaches every person with a diamond-toothed smile and determination to meet everyone halfway. His efforts have made him the face of the Watch to many of Ankh-Morpork's residents who have heard of him, which is some of them. 8 is a place to note down any consequences you gain during play. 9, notes, where you write notes. 10, luck, a measure of what your character can get away with. And then 11, character art. After all, a picture says 1,000 words. All of these things are traits. These traits take the place of more traditional statistics and can be used in a test to argue the applicability of your actions. They tell you what a character is good at, as well as what they struggle with. They can be used to influence the world and story the characters find themselves in, while also providing information to help you play that character at the table. The only exception to this is luck, which tracks your favor with the lady, and therefore how much you can get away with before things start catching up with you. Well, luck be a lady tonight, indeed. Characters have access to everything a trait could encompass. Let's take an example chosen completely at random and in no way related to this adventure whatsoever. A character who has the trait The Watch will have access to everything that entails. Official badge, shiny breastplate, one sword, short or weapon appropriate to the species, and 38 Ankh-Morpork dollars a month plus allowances. The same is true of every trait. A troll is incredibly strong and smarter in cold weather. An iconographer has all the tools of the trade needed to keep those imps painting. And someone who remembers the good, bad old days probably knows their way around a back alley or 12, provided they haven't been built on or otherwise closed down for the sake of hygiene. I love it. Luck's a measure of your character's favor with the lady. Thank you. They're going to define the lady. The lady is one of the gods of the disc. One of those feuding, grumbling, all too human entities who live on Dunmanifestin, playing games with lives and dice and sometimes snacks. I have not consciously encountered Dunmanifestin before, so it took me a second. I still need to finish reading the series. You can spend luck to decrease the severity of consequences or to help another player with a test. Only 1 luck can be spent per test. To regain luck, you'll have to do things that pique the lady's interest. Excellent, unusual, or downright weird roleplay. Ideas and use of traits can all earn you back a point of luck at the GM's discretion. All right. Traits in tests. Everything on your character sheet is a trait. Even your character's name can be used as a trait if you think it'll justify your character being good at the test they're attempting. Traits are not necessarily good or bad, but are situational. For example, having the trait, I spend more time in the drum than the library, would help you if you were trying to win a drinking contest or track down a specific unscrupulous person, but hinder you if you needed to do some occult research. The easiest way to think of it is, I have X trait. Therefore, I should be good at Y action. However, one of the key aspects of Pratchett's work is wordplay. As such, we not only expect but downright insist that players bend, twist, bludgeon, beat, and otherwise wrangle their traits to fit scenarios they were never meant for and justify actions they should have little to no business being associated with. When justifying a trait for a test, the player should state why it will be useful for the action. Then the GM decides the dice values. At the end of the day, deciding the exact die values for a particular test is much less important than rolling them. I love it. Ham-Rahan's trait always hits what he should be aiming at could be used to justify making a crack shot, or it could be much more amusingly used to justify a lucky ricochet. Perhaps Ham-Rahan's hand flies off his wrist while he's gesticulating wildly and hits something he should have been concentrating on while he has an argument with Igorina about stitching. Both are completely valid uses of the trait. I love that they've got the luggage. I love that the luggage is featured there. The thing about actions is they have consequences. These will manifest in gameplay as a new trait for the PCs, a twist in the narrative, or both. These traits are temporary and only apply as long as they are relevant. Some will go away on their own at the end of the scene. Others will require the PC to spend time removing them. Several degrees of consequences: inconsequential, minor, major, and exceptional. Near-death experience. Since there are no health points in this game, you may be asking how and if characters can die. Oh gosh. Baba, thank you so much for the new coffee subscription. Oh my God, thank you. I don't know what to say other than thank you. Oh boy. Brain derailed. No survivors. Okay. This is generally handled through an exceptional consequence to a failed test. In the full game, there will be rules for covering this. We sincerely doubt anyone will be dying in the span of this adventure. Asterisk. The GM, of course, is free to give someone a brush with death if they really screw up a particular role, providing they remember to talk like this. Oh, I love this. Is not a challenge. Oh, thank you, Baba. We have to turn the page, but I wanted to show the illustration of death as a beekeeper. Example of play. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. I just want to see what death, how they sound like death. Oh, hello, dragon. This art is so good. I am so ready to play a game of Discworld. Exactly. It is so pretty. I think it's going in now to the actual like scenario of the Quickstart. And I'm not going to give that away. So let's just see. Carriage Chase, Nobblers and Sons. I want to, there's usually like the pre-generated characters. We'll look at them. Because I don't want to give away the scenario in case somebody wants to play the quick start. Pre-generated characters. Name: Detective Bartholomew Hamrahan. Organization: The Watch. Background: a zombie who lived and died on these streets. Niche: loose siege catapult. And the law is more of a guidance, really. Core: better it happened to me than you. Quirks: remembers the good bad old days. Always hits what he should be aiming at. He had 4 luck. Detective Bartholomew Hamrahan was the best the Day Watch had to offer back in the bad old days. Back in the bad old days when the Night Watch was a pointless irrelevance commanded by a drunk. You didn't have to worry about regulations or due process. You just had to know how to point a crossbow and follow your gut. Those were the days. Before that drunk turned out to have a bunch of ideas about due process and not shooting people. Hammerhand has adapted, to some extent, to the times, but there's nothing like getting an arrow in the chest these 3 days from retirement to harden your heart. And rotten Bart Hammerhand didn't have the softest heart to begin with. Frankly, he's too dead for this stuff. I like it. I like it. 3 days from retirement, of course. Constable Igorina is another member of the watch. 4 luck again. Hammerhand Murtag. Background. And Igorina, fresh from Uberwald. Niche, applied forensics. And spray it, don't thay it. Okay. Spray it, don't thay it. Core, a stitch in time saves 9. I love it because that phrase gives so many opportunities. I could see so many possibilities to use that trait of a stitch in time saves 9 in all sorts of weird and wacky ways. Quirks, happy to call a head wound. 2 left feet, but the heart of a lion. And can you imagine if you took that literally, that she has the heart of a lion? Riggs and Murtagh, Lethal Weapon Murtagh's tagline was a few days from retirement. Oh, got it. Few days from retirement. I'm too old for this shit. Yeah, I know the line. I didn't remember specifically where it was from. I mean, I think it's been used in a lot of places. The Igors of Uberwald are a traditional people. They take great pride in their heritage in serving the greatest vampire nobility and mad scientists across the disc. When Igorina came to Ankh-Morpork, she didn't find such illustrious employers. Instead, she found a position in the Watch, who were happy to overlook the lisp. Her talents as a surgeon were quickly recognized, but more useful was her determination to prevent the need for an Igor's services. Any Igor can stitch someone back together, but few can prevent their patient from getting hurt in the first place. In fact, some of them see that as rather spoiling the fun. Lethal, got it. Lethal Weapon Murtagh. Got it. We already read through Constable Cliff, so I'm going to skip Constable Cliff and go to Constable Surly Underhand. Again, they're all starting with 4 luck. So another member of the Watch. Background, a dwarf born and raised in the Shades. So there's a lot of like pre-assumed knowledge represented in these characters that if you had no background in Discworld at all, you'd be like, well, what the heck are the Shades? I don't think it matters though, because I think having that phrase, a dwarf born and raised in the Shades, even if nobody playing knows what the Shades are, you can make it up on the spot. I imagine once that like actual full RPG book gets published, there will be background information and things like that. But niche, crime scene iconographer. Curious enough to make cats nervous. I love that one. Core, do everything with a smile. Quirks, blends into the background and virulently infectious personality. Surly is a traditional dwarf with an eye for iconography and detail. The clink of chainmail and the odd chink of Surly's iconograph are a common sound at any crime scene. And he only gets in trouble when he mixes in personal pictures with evidence. The trouble is, Surly argues that everything is connected. More than once, a crime has been solved because Surly thought to point his iconograph at a random stranger, plate of food, or passing butterfly just at the right moment. So he's a photographer, essentially. A conspiracy theorist, possibly. I love it. The art, and yeah, there's an this being Discworld, there's an imp inside that will actually make the picture. um oh no, I just read the asterisk. um More than once, a crime has been solved because Surly thought to point his iconograph at a random stranger, plate of food, or passing butterfly just at the right moment. Asterisk. The butterfly was charged with 3 counts of environmental terrorism. The axe is a tripod. Yeah. Hi, Silica. Constable Misbegot and ampersands. Oh no. I'm sorry, Baba. The ship did not like so many at once. The constable, Misbegot and ampersands. The watch. Background, gargoyle. Niche, designated noticer. Looks the spitting image of a pixie-faced smut. That's what it says. Pixie-faced smut. Yeah, apparently the ship did not like laughter that much. Core, doing nothing isn't the same as not doing anything. Quirks, too shy to move if they are being looked at. Beloved by animals despite their best efforts. Misbegot and ampersands lives on Misbegot Bridge and usually spends their days watching the river Ank for illegal activity. Technically, the river breaks several environmental laws and at least one public nuisance ordinance just by existing, but the watch hasn't been able to find a bucket big enough to make an arrest with. Gargoyles make excellent members of the watch. They are patient, perceptive, and willing to be paid in pigeons. Since even criminals prefer to steer clear of the turgid river, it tends to be a dull job. Misbegot and ampersands moves like a poor stop-motion animation, which scares most people who aren't dragons. Dragons are irresistibly drawn to them, to their eternal consternation. I love it. I love it. Oh gosh, I love this so much. Okay. I'm very excited that this is a thing and that at some point someone will be playing Discworld RPG. What better world to play in? I'm so Also, having read through this and the mechanics of it, I think Eric would do an amazing job with a Discworld game. We just need to introduce him to Discworld first. Iron Trout. The full game is not out yet. This Quickstart is available for free on the Modifius website. So if you head over to modifius.net or modifius.com, you can grab this Quickstart for free. Let's see. I think that is the US one. And that is the UK one. Oh, no, I misspelled it. No! I misspelled it on the first one. Please tell me that if you click on that first one, it is not. Oh, no, it's modifius.us. And is it modifius.uk? I don't know. I know that if I know that I usually end up going to .net and it gets me there. Anyway. But yeah, it's actually modifius.uk or US. Whatever. Go to Modifius. Hi, Nauseum. I'm playing Chance of Senar on Mondays. And I have been really, really enjoying it. The plan today actually, oh gosh, wait, what? It's a Delevely. Hello, Delevely. Welcome in. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's great to have you joining. Please, yes. Okay, there was a shout out. If you're not following Delevely, why are you not following Delevely? Have you not been hanging out in my stream long enough to know that you absolutely should be following Delevely? So, hi, welcome everybody. I moved my Saturday stream earlier when I decided to come back. Hi, Cole Drake. Thank you so much for the follow. How was your stream? I didn't manage to get in there today, but I'm back to the Twitch on Saturdays, so it will happen. But yes, we were just looking at the Discworld Quickstart that was put out by Modifius. It is free right now on the Modifius websites, and it looks amazing. Also, it has amazing art. Strange D&D stories and mysterious TV lights. Lovely. Oh yes. Gone Home. Yeah, we did that one. I don't know, it's been a little while. But because I got stuck in Chance of Senar and I can't escape. I was actually, oh gosh, face scruff. Indeed, I have let it grow a little. There's yes. Words have escaped my brain. Brain derailed, no survivors again. But yes, the Discworld game is absolutely spectacular. There's a complete sentence somewhere. Not out of my mouth, though. And the Quickstart has amazing art, and I'm trying now. Nope, that's not. I'm gonna not put the wrong information in chat again. That will get you to the free Quickstart guide if you're in the US. And this will get you there. Where? And it is completely free right now, and absolutely spectacular. We actually already went through it. I love 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 the mechanics. I love that the mechanics are inspired by Discworld itself. I love that puns are required. Hi, Ray Faye. It's just, I cannot wait to get a chance to play this. I can't wait to watch Eric run a game of this, because I think this game was made for the way he runs games. Like, I think there could be no better GM than Eric for this game, having looked through it. I just don't know how much he actually knows about Discworld. Yes, absolutely made for Streampunk's family. But yeah, I love just the entire premise, the two core premises of the system. The disc has a story it wants to tell, and left alone will spin on, much as it has always done. And the players want to change this story to one more of their liking. Did I tell you I had one of the best reactions ever to coming out to a friend? Oh, you didn't, but congratulations. That's amazing. That is so good to hear. Oh, Shadows, thank you for the 3 unclothed streams. He'd need to be able to play Rincewind or Death really well. Yeah, there's a reference to near-death encounters, and it says something in here about that people could have a brush with death. Remember to talk like this. Sorry, I can't do it, at least not at the moment. But because death always talks in all capitals in the books. So your characters can have a brush with death as long as the GM remembers to talk in all capitals. Oh, Abria or Rick Budd would also do really well. Honestly, the idea that there is a narrative and that it basically it's a cooperative storytelling where the world has a story and the players want to alter the story so that it's more to their liking. The roles, the mechanics of the game, you've got your character sheet, and everything on your character sheet, including the character art and including your name, are traits. And basically, if you want to do something, you argue which traits best position you to accomplish it. And then the GM decides which die you're going to roll, whether it's going to be a D4, D6, D10, or D12. And you're rolling that against the D8, which is the narrativium die, which is basically the inertia of the story that the world is telling. And so based on how well you argue, so if your trait is perfect, this is totally your wheelhouse, you'll roll a D12 against that D8. And so you have a better chance of succeeding against the world's narrative in that case. If you argue and you really don't fit, like it's like, okay, it's not a really good fit, but you're gonna try, that's gonna be like the D4, where yeah, you might win, but it's more likely that the story is going to continue uninterrupted. And I just love sort of that idea. And I think that mechanic in itself feels very much like the Streampunks. To where, yep, the world is just going to keep barreling on its own, and your characters have a chance to use any aspect of who they are to try and change that. And puns are absolutely required by the game. If you do really good puns, you can get extra luck points. Sam is a member of the Watch. Well, so all of these characters in the Quickstart are members of the Watch. So all of the pre-generated characters are members of the Watch, but once the full game comes out, you'll be able to make characters that are basically whatever you want them to be. I think it's spectacular. I love the mechanics that they came up with. Also, I just absolutely love the art. Because the art is ridiculously amazing. I'm gonna shrink this down so that I can show more of the actual art. Okay. That's here I am altering my stream in ways. Nope. Come on. Oh, you know what? I know how to do it. Reset. No? Oh. It's fine. It's fine. There. That's better. I mean, look at that. I assume it's not AI generated because honestly, it looks too good. Good puns or groaningly good puns? I mean, all puns. They said that they want us to excruciatingly mangle the English language. Or presumably whatever language you happen to be speaking in. So I'm excited. I am excited by the fact that this exists, the fact that the Quickstart is free. I love the mechanics they put together. I just think this is going to be amazing. The watch or the watch? Wish my mom was still around. She would love this. I think it's amazing. I love they also feature the librarian in here a lot. I love it. I love it. I love it. And they also start out with a like, if you don't know what Discworld is, which very useful. And just like, this is a great picture of Atuan and the elephants, whose names I never remember, and the world. Yeah. Lead art director, photographer, 3D designers. Art direction. Yeah, I would say, interior artwork by Paul Kidby and David Benzel. The page architecture artwork by David Benzel. Thank you so much for having actual artists. And the cover artist was Paul Kidby. Whenever I read a comment about the world is flat, after I groan, I just think they live on Discworld. Yes. Kidby's done some of the best disc art. I'm not familiar, but I definitely love the artwork in this book. It's spectacular. I love Discworld. He started working with Pratchett in '93. Like, I love Discworld. I've never had the chance to, like, I've never taken the time to really read through everything. I read through a bunch of the initial, like, I've read a lot of the beginning of it, but not some of the later stuff. I need to go back and read it and devote as much time to it as I did to, like, the Pern series by Anne McCaffrey. That one I know way too well. Ooh. I love the Baba, that's amazing. I just saw your photos that you put in the League of Whimsy Discard. The Discord. There was a Humble Bundle with all of the books. I was trying to read through them in audio or like listen to them all in audio. And then I hit a block where the next book in the series wasn't available in audio. And I don't know, that was at some point either during or after grad school, and I just didn't have it in me at that time to actually be capable of reading the text of a book, because grad school sort of destroyed that ability for a while. And so I just haven't gone back. And I just don't remember. I want to say it was like somewhere around like 11 or 13 books in, where the next one just wasn't available in audio, and it sort of stopped me. Small Gods and Thief of Time. I don't know that I have ever. I might have had The Color of Magic physically, but I don't know. You sent me a message. Oh, if you can, I would happily accept that. So yeah, Wraith, thank you. That would be awesome. So yeah, that's what we sort of got started on this, and somehow this was not the original plan for my first Saturday back, but I'm okay with it. Because the original plan for my first Saturday back was to do the thing. How am I on? Oh, it's not terrible.